Welcome to the Proven Podcast, where it doesn't matter what you think, only what you can prove. Today's guest, Tyler Wagner, built an 8-figure business without spending a single dime on ads. On this episode, he'll prove exactly how you can do the same. The show starts now.
I'm with Tyler Wagner, one of the few people on the planet who have consistently proven me wrong on almost every single thing that we've ever done. Welcome to the show, man. I appreciate you coming on.
Thanks for having me, man. Pumped to be here.
When I first met Tyler, and this is cheating because we're friends. When I first met Tyler, he brought me his idea, and I was like, oh, he's going to do X, Y, Z. And I was like, it's not going to work. Go away. And then he also told me, about this thing called, Bitcoin. And it was going to work. I was like, it's not going to work either. So both of them have proven me wrong. And Tyler has now made an 8-figure business in his business. And there's a specific way he does that. And I'm going to have him share exactly how to scale his business from an individual who, didn't finish college to now is an 8-figure business. So what do you call that? I know you have an acronym specifically for this. How you did it?
Yeah, so we call it IPS, which stands for Infinite Partnership System. And yeah, I'm happy. We'll go in full detail, exactly how we do it for sure.
So a lot of people think when you're doing this, it's about just sitting on the phones for 16 hours a day and being relentless and doing all that. And I know a lot of people that do that, not as effectively as you are, but there's a lot of people put the energy in, but they still don't get the result. And I've obviously used IPS before. I know the power of it. So let's walk through a general overview. What is the IPS? Kind of like 8 to 9 steps. What are the things of how it works?
Yeah, so first thing is you want to identify who could be your top partners, right? So I'll use my company, Authors Unite, as the example. It's just the easiest one for me to use. And it's actually Infinite Partnership System and evolved out of Authors Unite. I was doing something that was growing our business and I didn't even realize what I was doing until after money started coming in. I was like, oh, we should do more of those things. And then it started to work really well. So let me start here. So Authors Unite, we write, edit, publish, and market books. That's basically, we offer different things, but that's the core of what we do, hyper focused on marketing books. So that's what we're known for in the industry. So the first thing that I came to realize is we had a publisher that had referred us over $1 million in business in a year. And I was like, okay, if I get 19 more of those, we have a $20 million business. So then I started the hunt of basically reaching out to every book publisher in the world that speaks English. And unless they created their publishing company a week ago, we have reached out to them that speak English. And even if it was a week ago, there's a chance we reached out to them as well. So regardless, we scaled that. And now we have we have over 40,000 affiliates in total, but book publishers was one target. They offer complementary services as we do, right? There is some overlap, but we're not looking at how it's competitive. Our selling point is, hey, you help people publish. We can get them on the major bestseller lists and we'll give you commission if you refer to us. So let's partner up on this. And then some other examples are ghostwriters, editors, PR agencies. We have 200-300 different keywords that we go after. So it's first identifying who could be your top partners that offer complementary services and have a large pool of your clientele. In my case, it's authors. Next part is then how do you get all their data, right? So in our course, we provide tools of how do you basically get all their information and reach out to them and not be limited to the amount of reach outs that you can do. And I think that's one thing we had talked about in the past, Charles, with there's a lot of different methods of reaching out to people, but most of them, there's limits, right? Like LinkedIn, you can only do 1,000 a month. Facebook, Instagram, you can only do about 50 a day. But with our strategy, it's unlimited. You can literally reach out to as many as you want. And then, so just so I know, you want me to go through everything right now? Just lay it.
There's a couple things I'm going to interrupt you on because I know you're going to be chomping at the bit. One of the first thing is it's not infinite, public partner. It's partnership. And that's a big part of this. You're not going after your customer. And what you're doing is you're going after the people who are already in service to your customer. So you're leveraging the idea of KLT. You're stealing that know, like, and trust from someone else. So if I walk into a room and I try to hit on so-and-so, it's going to be hard. But if I walk in the room and you walk over to her and say, hey, this is my buddy Charles, he's a great guy, it's going to be easier. It's called inherited trust. When we're using this in the world of human behavior, it's called inherited trust. So one of the biggest mistakes that everyone does is they try to go directly after the customer. Don't do that. Go out, create a partnership with someone where it's a win-win, where you're providing exceptional value. And again, in your world, the marketing, you're the best in the world. There isn't anyone else around it. And yes, I was wrong. I'm publicly admitting it. Yes, you were right. Was wrong. And you've done this, and because you created partnerships, and then you started talking about that there's ways to go after people. There's ways to do it unlimited. And I really want to jump on that because everyone's like, oh, I'm going to send Facebook messages or I'm going to send out LinkedIn messages or any of that. So how comfortable are you sharing how you do it unlimited? Because I know there's two things I'd love for you to share. How you do it unlimited and what exactly you say, because it's not enough. There's so much more to the partnership program. But I think if people just had those two things, they'd be like, okay, this could get them started to scale what they're doing.
Oh, totally. Yeah. So the way we reach out mostly, and everything I just mentioned that has limits, we do reach out in those ways. We just, we do it until the limit stops us. But the other way we reach out is website contact forms. So this is like, I think about IPS, it's just like the most basic thing in the world, but it's to me, and maybe it is to me just because I've done it for so long, but it's just overlooked. Like, how many people do you know reach out to website and I'm not talking about like on the homepage, like the the button to opt in. I'm talking about the literal contact us form. Nobody uses this. Like no way. Except we use them like millions of times. So the only reason people have them is like for us or something. I don't know. But like
For you.
and yeah, there's literally like there's no spam or no limit. Like you can do those unlimited. Now it does take, I'm sure this might sound crazy to your audience. I'm sure there's AIs that can do it, but I actually just have now, it could be over 100 virtual assistants that are now doing these reach outs. So like, I don't know, there's at least dozens. I have a ton of them. And so,
and again, I've known you long enough. I remember when you did this yourself. I remember going, hey, let's get on a call. Hey, let's do that. Dude, I've been on the phone for 16 hours today. I can't talk to you. I'm like, yeah, but you've done that for the last 3 months. You're like, yeah. So when people see the end of this, they're like, hey, okay, this seems really simple. Just reach out on contact forms. You still have to be relentless. You still have to be disciplined, and you still have to know what to say. But a key portion of this that pivots is it's a partnership. You're not reaching out to your prospective client. You're reaching out to the person that's already working with your client. It's a partnership with it. So someone goes on, they find the forms, they spend the energy. What the hell do they say? What is the overriding things? Like, hey, I like flamingos, or what are they actually saying? What is the keyword? What is the phrase that works for you better than anything else?
we haven't tried that. That won't work well, actually. So I'll let you know on that one. I'll test it. But so we say the same thing every time. And I will actually say we've been testing some new things out just to see if it converts higher. But so far, this is the highest converting. So the subject just says potential collaboration. And then it says, hey, their name. So it's personalized. And then it says, I think there might be ways we can collaborate. And literally, and then at the bottom, we just put whoever the person is, the name, and then authorsunite.com. So it's one sentence literally in the body. And then what it does, or what I think it does, I'm not like a psychologist or anything, but I think it perks curiosity in their mind. And then most of the time they'll reach back out and say, I'm open to collaborating. Like, tell me more. What did you have in mind? And then I can go in, like the response to that is, I was thinking we can refer people to each other. If you're open to a short intro call, here's my schedule link. And then that is authorsunite.com/whoever the salesperson on my team is, their name. And then we can go, and then that's retargeted. There's a pixel in that link. So they go to book it. And then when they book it, by the time they get on a call with our person, they've seen like 30, 40 video testimonials all over social media. And then it's already like a done deal on the partnership by the time they're on the call with us. So that's kind of the process there. And there's more tools, software and stuff that we use, but that's kind of a short process. Yeah.
So the thing is that I can explain this because to you and the audience, what you're doing is you're actually meeting their need. Everyone talks about this all the time. Okay, I want to be vitamins, or do I want to be Advil? You always want to be Advil. You don't want to sell hope. You want to sell the ability to eliminate pain. So by reaching out and telling the person, hey, this is a potential partnership, all they read was, you want to make more money? That's all they saw. So like, I'm going to reach out to you. He's not trying to sell me. He's trying to make me more money. Oh, partner with Solid, you're going to make me more money? I'm always going to answer the phone call on, are you going to make me healthier, or you're going to make me more money? That's it. Because it comes down to three things. The only thing that the part of your brain that hasn't evolved past the lizard that cares about is, can it make me more money? Can I eat it? Or can I fornicate with it? That's it. If you can snap the energy, it just comes down to those things, right? We know that. If it's going to hurt, can I eat it? Can I make babies with it? That's it. And if you can snap into that, which is what you're doing, you're going, hey, potential collaboration. You're not, hey, I want to try and sell you something. You're not, hey, I have this great product for you. You're saying, I want to collaborate with you. I want to work with you. I want to drive business to you. That's a partnership, and it's a different ballgame. And I know it sounds really simple for 99.9% of the people, but I can stand here as one of those people that stood in front of you. I'm like, it's not going to work. And it works because it is so simple. So, okay, so you break it down, you start the IPS and you track them down, and you have a horde of VAs that are going to contact form. And they're sending out this very complicated message, which probably everyone's now rewound this podcast or written it down a couple of times. Once someone gets on the phone, what are the things you run into when they schedule the call? And again, I know there's a lot of tools that we're skipping over because you just don't have enough time in there. What are some of the tools, or what are some of the conversations? What are some of the, because yes, you have a wall of testimonials. You do. And I'm one of them. I'm on your website. I hate that picture.
You're actually our main guy on the website. You really are. Yeah.
And I hate that picture so much. One day we'll reshoot it.
Send me a bigger one as you want. I like it.
It's from the day I become a Wall Street Journal bestseller. So I get it. Once you give them a call, how important is the camera? How important is the background? How is important what you're saying? Do you show up in a t-shirt? Are you dressed up? How are you showing up when you do show up to those calls?
Well, okay. So funny thing is, so some of my team members do Zoom calls. I actually still just do old school phone call because I'm a guy that I like to be t-shirt, boxers, or sweatpants. So I'm just being honest about that. So getting ready and doing video for every, because the volume I was doing like literally 100 a week. I used to do Monday through Friday, 20 calls a day. Now I just do one day a week. But regardless, it's just a lot to do video for me. So I was just doing calls. But I think the big thing with it is I always, and my team, I've told my team this too, like you said, when they read that message, they're thinking of making more money. So when you get on the call with them, you always want to start with asking about who they are and what their business is, and thinking of ways you can refer to them. So that's how I always start the conversation, is even though the truth of the matter is I really want them to refer to me, and there are some chances that I refer to them, but the truth of the matter is, like, with over 40,000 affiliates, I can't refer to all of them. I mean, it just wouldn't make any sense. So, but I want to understand who they are, what they're offering, and see how I can refer to them and let them know that there is opportunity that I might be able to refer to them. And then after I say that, then they'll normally pass it back to me and be like, hey, that, nice of you to ask. Let me see how I can help you too, right? Just like reciprocity, I guess. And you could probably go more into the science of that or something, but
I'm saying I can also do the experience of it. So, I've used the IPS before, and we talked about it, and I've helped you with, there's two things. For those of you who are not watching the video, Tyler is a gorgeous, gorgeous man in a 3-piece tux right now on a book. I'm not. Tyler looks now like he does all the time. He's in a t-shirt, hair. That is just Tyler. That's just who he is. But I can tell you, having used the IPS and having, it's sales techniques where someone will come on and I will just try and just learn everything about them. Tell me what you do. And no matter what they tell me or what they do, it is the most amazing thing that I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm like, you cook food? I've never heard of that before. How you provide nutrition? Oh my God, all of my clients do that. And I'll keep asking them for very specific details. I'm like, tell me more. I'm taking notes and all of this. And it's amazing. I'm like, oh, great. And then they're like, oh, wait, Tom, what do you do? I'm like, oh, I do XYZ. I write the podcast. I write that you're a top 10 book. Help you write your book. Whatever that is, I'm like, oh yeah, I just do this. By then, they're so hungry to get in reciprocity with you, to help you out, that they're like, oh my God, Charles is such a great guy. I need to help him out. And if your offering is set up in a sentence that is so good, they're going to automatically start referring you like crazy. When we did this, and I've used this in the past, again, I don't let people come on who I haven't used and worked with in the past. It works. And I didn't think it was going to work for your industry. And I was wrong. Mr. 8 figures a year bastard. So I didn't think it was going to work the way you did it. And that's the real secret. Because most people, they'll get on the call and like, well, I can write your book, and I can write your book for you. I can ghostwrite. I can do this and that. Don't do that. Do not do that. Make it about them first. Because again, you're trying to develop a partnership with people first. And again, it's a very complicated way of doing it. Hi, I think we can collaborate. Oh my God, what did you do? This is what I do too. So it's not complicated. I mean, yes, there's a lot more steps and there's training and there's all of that, but the actual closing process, and you skipped over this, is so powerful because your testimonials are already there. If someone Googles Tyler Wagner or Authors Unite, they're going to get walls, but one really ugly picture of me, but walls of amazing testimonials that have already done the selling for you. And that's a secret most people don't do. You need to have your social media and everything else that sells it for you. I sort of have a question. How many people, when they get on a call with you that have now been referred to you, now that you've used this system, how hard is it for you to close normally at this point?
Well, dude, that's what's so weird about our company and the level we're at is even myself, I'm going to group myself in with all of my people on my team that do sales. We don't have one like hardcore closer. Like I wouldn't consider any of us like closers or like even like masters at sales. Like I've read a lot of sales books, but I don't follow any scripts as far as like on the sales call once it's referred. Literally, it's very easy, right? I think it goes back to what you said because we're borrowing the trust from the partner. But when I get on with an author and it's a true sales call, I just ask them like, "Hey, like, what are your goals and like what's the dream outcome for you with your book? Are you trying to grow your business? Is it book sales? Like, what is it?" They'll tell it to me, and then if I can guarantee them to get them there, then I'll offer it to them. Or if I can't, then I'll just say, "Hey, I actually can't do this, but I have a guy or a girl that can do it. I'll refer you to them." Right. So I don't know. To me, I think, and look, I think there's a lot of great sales stuff out there, and I think a lot of it works, right? Like people have studied sales over and over again. But to me, it's just like the person has a problem, and if I can solve it, I'll just offer the service, and then they buy it. That's all it is. I don't know.
There's a couple things that you do really well, which is, first off, you walk in a room and everybody loves you. This is a gift that's an innate gift that you have. I don't know. I'll take it. Tyler has that innate gift, but more importantly, there's little things and you don't know that you know it. You just say it and you articulate it really well, where you come on board and say, hey, if I can give them a solution to their problem, I'm going to give them a solution to their problem. But I'm also going to make sure that if I don't have a solution to the problem, I'm going to give them something that they go with. I'm going to create that relationship like, hey, you know what? Can't do that. Yeah, I know you wanted to go and learn how to fly to the moon. I can't get you there, but I know what NASA is. And here's a contact over to NASA. And I go talk to them. They're going to go help you out. And I can't do that. And what will happen with that is that involvement over and over, doing 20 calls a day, all of a sudden, somebody's going to know somebody who knows somebody. There's a really small world. I know there's, millions and millions of people out there, but it's a really small world in the communities, especially in your industry. And they're like, hey, I'm talking to these people over at Authors Unite. Talking to this guy, Tyler. She seemed like a really nice. Oh yeah, I talked to him like 3-4 months ago. He was great. He helped me out. He got me in touch with da-da-da. That's part of the sales process. Because again, if you're always, there's old idea of ABC, always be closing. Don't do that. I know it's horrible to say that. They teach you that, always be closing. Don't always be building a relationship. Always be partnering up with them. Always be trying to be in service to them. Because again, you proved it. You're doing 8 figures a year. So how do you go through this?
Well, I just wanted to mention one other thing there, and because I've told you this before, there's been occasions where literally 6 different partners, and this has happened like 3 or 4 times now, 6 different partners have referred me the same person, right? So imagine that, like if you build enough partnerships in one industry where you have, even if it's just more than one, just 2 of the same people refer the same, or 2 different people refer the same person, dude, that person's closing, let alone 6. Like if 6 different people in the book publishing industry refer me an author, if that person doesn't close, then that person ain't buying anything. You know what I mean?
I'm like that buying, right? So I think the other thing that's powerful about this is while you're doing this, you're building relationships. Like for example, I know, and we know this, I know everything that you do, and I can do everything you do on my own. I can absolutely do what you do. I've got the technical background. I know how I've seen underneath the hood. We've shared enough with each other. I know how to do exactly what you do. If I spent the next year, 2 years, hired 1,000 people to try and compete, I still would not beat you because you've spent all this time building these partnerships and these are based on relationships. And that's what gives your competitive advantage, where you're going to get those 6 to 9 to 10 to whatever people that were referring you. Because at this point, as you mentioned before, God, how many partners do you have? How many have you done this for? How many other people have you made money for in this dynamic? Because when you're doing the IPS system, or you're doing any sort of relationship, when you're giving a partnership, be it affiliates or sponsors or any of that, make sure you're giving a kickback to that specific deal. You're going to work with ABC company. Hey, ABC, thank you for referring me. We have a flat fee of X, whatever that referral back to you is. We're going to give you 5%, 10%, 20%, whatever it is. Try to be more than the average because you've done that and because you're a good guy. Even though I know how to do exactly what you do, I could not dethrone. There's no way.
You know, it's crazy. I just thought this could be like a quote. It's like, by not competing with anyone in your industry, you become like, I don't know what the word is, but you like become not competable with. You know, like that's kind of what you were
I
like.
go with not competable with. Yes, for the guy who did graduate college, we're going to go with not competable with.
I don't know how to word it, but I just had a realization. It's like, because like, I mean, yeah, untouchable. Yeah. Cause like Facebook ads, all that stuff's great. But once you turn it off, it's over. Right. Whereas with this, even though if somebody came in and could maybe even do, let's just say they could do better than I could do, they still would have a hard time competing with me just because I've already built the relationships with everyone. You know, like it would be so like, and you know, with AI and stuff, like relationships are the only thing that may never be like changed. Like there's time that needs to be dedicated. Whereas like there's software, stuff like that, with like gathering data, all that stuff will be easier and easier as time evolves. But with relationships, you got to put in the time. Like I don't see how it'll ever, you can't fast track that. Like it's just not possible.
Really can't.
Yeah.
And you got to put in the energy, but also you got to do this. And this is important. Everyone's going to, and this is a mistake with people who try and use this method that we've taught this to and we've shared this with before, is they go, oh, I have this great way. I'm going to go collaborate with someone who's my customer. Don't do that. Never collaborate with someone who is your customer. Collaborate with the person who's already in service to your customer. And it's, I know you're going to get hungry. And I know you guys who are listening to this right now who want to get in touch with Tyler, we'll teach you how to get in touch with Tyler. We'll share all the information. He's gracious enough to share all this with us. When you're doing this and you're going to get greedy. You're like, I got to feed I got to eat. Go overdrive. Go do something else to pay your bill. Don't break this. You've got to get in a situation where you're developing a relationship with the partners who are going to sell you. Because Tyler doesn't have a huge sales team. I know his sales team. It's not huge. I know it. You're thinking he's an 8-figure company. He's got thousands of salespeople. No, he's got thousands of partners that are selling for him. And that's why creating these relationships are so important. So again, as we're going through this, I think we've given some people some stuff that are like, shit, I need to go talk to my sales staff. What are the biggest mistakes? And what is the one thing you wish you did? So 2 separate questions. What are the biggest mistakes that you had going into this that you made? And then what is the one thing you wish you did early?
Well, okay. So, I mean, my biggest mistake just going into business in general was being so like thinking there was only one way, right? And what I mean by that is I was so fixated on a sales funnel and getting paid advertising the work that I wasted so many years on that, which is actually what led me to. So I guess I got to be grateful for it because that is what led me to this. Is like I literally just finally threw up my hands and was like, dude, I keep seeing all these success stories of people making millions on these funnels and ads, but I can't figure it out. I just can't figure like I don't know. And I was like, I'm done. And then I just started filling my calendar with partner calls and it ended up working out. And in the beginning, I didn't know if it would, but I would say that was, you know, that would be my biggest mistake is not doing it sooner. And then what was the second part of the question again?
You were starting a business over right now, and you were going to do one thing. What would you do?
Oh, one thing? I feel like I got to say 2 things, but I think, well, no, one thing would just be, okay. The 2 things, one thing would be like building the best possible service or product ever, because to me, that is the best marketing. And I've come to realize in business that so many people, they like half-ass the product and then they go really hard in the marketing. And in the reality is if you make the product incredible, the marketing is so much easier. And that's another thing too. With IPS, I always tell people, I'm like, I can get you more leads than for a lifetime. You don't even know what to do with all these things. But the reason it works for us is because our product is amazing. Like we guarantee stuff that other people can't guarantee. So that is the first thing you need to figure out. How do you create the best product in your niche? Like bar none, just it has to be amazing. And then the second thing is I would just start at the top. Like I would reach out to who you would view as your competitors, but I always view them as partners. I would reach out to all of them right from the beginning and just start partnering with as many of them as possible. And actually, like, because you're new to the industry, right? This is in the beginning, they might even become like a mentor to you. Like that would be the way. It's like, okay, that would be like me 13 years ago in the publishing industry, reaching out to HarperCollins or something and just like building relationships, you know, like it doesn't make sense almost, but it does in the way that even though they were so far ahead of me, there is a way people like to help other people and mentor them. So that's what I'd say, build an amazing product or service and then just go straight to the top and try to partner with all the top people in your industry. Those are the two.
So how do people get a hold of you? Because they're going to track you down. You know that. So I apologize in advance. No, I don't. It's revenge. Let them track you. How do people track you down? How do they get a hold of you? What's the best way to get a hold of you?
So probably email or Instagram. Email is Tyler@authorsunite.com, and then Instagram's Tyler B. Wagner. There's two best ways.
And if you happen to be traveling where he's traveling, hit him up. He's always a good guy. He offers to buy all the meals always. That's revenge.
I do. I really do, though. That's true.
I appreciate you coming on. Thank you for giving us. We're going to give a lot more details away, but I really appreciate you coming on, man.
Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for tuning in to the Proven Podcast. Remember, it doesn't matter what you think, only what you can prove. Now get out there and prove them all wrong.